You are listening to Breaking the Fourth Wall on Realm of the Mist Entertainment. Hello everyone and welcome to the interview show where we get to know people of all walks of life from all across the world. This is Breaking the Fourth Wall. Joining me today is a man of many hats. Yep, there was some pun intended there. From Texas, Mr. Bill Foster. How are you today, Bill?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. I'm very glad that you're here. This is the very first interview episode that I've done, so Bill has graciously decided to jump on and try this out. So my first question for you, Bill, we'll just run right into this, is can you go ahead and tell us some of the movies that you've been in?
Okay. Starting out with The Sun with Pierce Brosnan on AMC.
Mm-hmm.
I was a featured extra there one season, and I was on Alita Battle Angel as Christoph Waltz is walking down the street. He's by himself. He looks to his right and stares at this drunk laying there on the side of the street. That's me.
Nice.
So I got 4 seconds on the big screen there, and so then Ballad of Buster Scruggs, Netflix hit by the Coen Brothers. I was in the first session, or first story or vignette he had on there.
Okay.
Tim Nelson. And then, let's see, what else? Fear the Walking Dead. I've been on season 4 and season 5 of that is featured extra. The season 4, I was a vulture. And if you're a fan of Fear the Walking Dead, that was when the main stars were holed up in the ballpark here in Texas, and there was a old ratty, homeless-looking crew that was trying to overthrow them. Well, that was the Vultures, and that was me. I was one of those. And then after they killed me off of the Vultures, we had a big shootout, and they killed me. I became one of the zombie walkers, and so in season 5, I was a walker through that season.
Oh, wow.
Of course, the major one I'm working on right now is a movie I wrote, directing, and starring in also, so Showdown on the Brazos. But I've got quite a list of, quite a few credits, and it just goes on and on. It seems like it runs in spurts. All of a sudden, you're getting chosen for everything, then you run a while, and you're not in anything. You just stay busy.
Yeah.
With everything else going on.
There you go. You got to do what you got to do.
That's right.
So what would you say, out of all that, and anything else you may have done that you didn't list, what would you say your favorite role was?
Well, of course, right now it'd be the one I'm in, the Showdown of the Brazos. But take that one out of the mix, I would say probably The Sun with Pierce Brosnan. I got to play the opposite of who I really am. I got to play a really bad, nasty kind of guy.
Oh, there you go.
A vigilante type person out of a group, and so I got lots of camera time, and that was good and bad. I got lots of camera time, so they couldn't use me in season 2. they killed me in season 1, but that made the cutting room floor. So actually, nobody knows I got killed, so they could have brought me back, but they said we saw you too much, to make you a different character. So the character is no longer, and so they couldn't use me in season 2. But that was a lot of fun. Not only was it the first big series I was in, but I got get to meet Pierce Brosnan and several other actors, and find out they're just as human as everybody else and friendly as everybody else. And so that was a whole lot of fun. Of course, Fear the Walking Dead, that was blast, but just all the different things, the costuming and everything that goes into that was fun. Ballad of Buster Scruggs was a blast, so that'd be my top 3. Just getting to work with Coen Brothers, that was amazing. And Ethan actually came over there and talked to me and asked me if I'd do something for him on the screen. I was like, you name it, I'll do it. So that was pretty neat.
Yeah.
We were sitting at the table, I saw him walking across the saloon floor. I said, guys, here comes Mr. Coen. Guys, he's coming right over here to our table. And all of a sudden he said, sir, he put his hand on my shoulder, would you mind doing this? I said, yes, sir, or whatever you ask. But that was a lot of fun watching them, the 2 brothers work. If it had been me and my brother, there'd been 3 fist fights every day.
Oh, my gosh.
But those 2 brothers, they work great together. So.
No, man. So if you could if you could go up and say, I want to do that role, and the director just said, yep, jump right in there, what do you think that role would be?
Oh, cool. That's a great question. Well, it would be. I would love to be. Well, there's two things I'd like to be. As the main star of a western with, the old days John Ford, if not, Coen Brothers right now. I'd love to work with them in a movie kind of like True Grit, something like that.
Oh, yeah, that'd be a good one.
Yeah. The other side, I would love to be a crazy person, a maniacal, like a sniper murderer that would be totally different than what I really am. You can in a western you can kind of be bad, but I would like to be one of those really Hannibal Lecter type guy that hadn't been arrested yet. If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I totally get it. I'm actually in one of our other podcasts that I'm part of. I was forced to get out of my comfort zone, and I'm playing a character very opposite of what I normally do. So I get it. I completely relate.
Yeah, and I just finished a little short mini course acting class, and every time we had to do a monologue, I tried to find something that would be like that. I started doing Hannibal Lecter one night, but I couldn't find one long enough for the class, so I chose something else. But yeah, something like that, the census taker.
Yeah.
Buying an 80s liver with a nice chantilly.
Oh, jeez. So, what do you do? What does Bill Foster do in between roles?
Well, right now we're putting in a vineyard. I put in 33 years in education and retired in January of 2016. And when we moved to a different place, we bought a little place to put a vineyard on, and we really thought that was going to be our retirement, which it is. But so in between roles and filming and directing and all that, we're getting ready, planting the vineyard, weed eating.
Yeah.
Just taking care of the vineyard and trying to do the best we can with it. So
there you go.
Day in, day out, there's plenty to do on the vineyard. We've got 2 acres in the ground right now with 4 acres on the way. So
that's
it's
amazing.
A lot for one person to be doing right now.
Yeah, but it's just it's the life of a farmer.
That's right.
That's perfect. So you just said that you were you were in education for, what was it? What'd you say? 33 years there?
Yes, sir.
And then you retired. So what was it that made you decide you wanted to go into acting?
A couple of different things. The teacher went around the room asking everybody what they wanted to be when they grew up. Well, I was going to tell them a movie star, and but the girl next to that movie star, and everybody laughed at her. So I wasn't going to have everybody laugh. Said something else.
Yeah. But that was your secret dream, huh?
Yeah, that was my secret dream. And so then later on, when I retired, I was sitting there, kind of always, whenever I'd get a DVD or the old VHS tapes of a movie, first thing I would do would go to how they made the movie. I just loved watching how they made the movie, the sets and the behind the scenes and all that kind of stuff. So that was always my interest. From the major ones and the independents, I was always intrigued at the differences between the independent and the major, multi-million-dollar ones, and just the organization of it all. And so I'd been writing a script. I'm also a writer, so when I decided to make mine into a movie, and it all kind of came to play with everything that I'd learned, saying, these things I'm not going to do, and these are things I want to do.
Yeah,
so,
I got you.
So it all has come together.
Okay. Was there a role that you did that you didn't particularly care for?
There's been some boring ones.
Yeah.
There's been a few boring ones, and one time I drove, a long ways for a commercial, and it didn't even pay for the gas, but we sat in a planetarium, and look right, look
Yeah.
like we were whenever it was nice and cool, you know.
Yeah.
And so you learn some. I learned something there, but now I mean, there's good and bad on all of it. The thing is, it's what you make out of it. And some of the people, when I'm there on set, they're griping about having to stand in line for the costumes or all this, and I'm just loving every second of it. I can't wait to get my passport. I can't wait to see what it's gonna look like, and then the hair and makeup. And I just, if you like all of that and you love the movie, the waiting. There's always going to be a lot of waiting, around. And so on my movie that I'm doing, I've tried to make that as little waiting as possible.
There you go. That's
there's
nice.
always going to be some of it, but that's the part you don't like. But you get to make a lot of friends too. So it becomes kind of like an acting family we talk about. And so a lot of times we're just glad to see each other. It's kind of like a family reunion. We'll get back on the set sometimes. Find people that we've been acting with, hadn't seen them in 2 or 3 months, So
that's amazing.
Like a little reunion.
That's so cool. That's just awesome to hear. You don't hear about that kind of stuff like that. I mean, you hear people say that acting can be like being together with a family and everything, but you don't really hear people say it out loud too much.
Yeah, and there's always going to be the divas, and there's always going to be the ones that's trying to get on camera, and we all laugh at those because we know, they're either rookies or we just know that's not the way it's going to work, and it's amazing that 90% of getting chosen for a role is your looks. Do you look like the role that they want?
Right.
And then 10% of it is acting. And that really came to play when I started casting for my own movie. I'd see somebody, I was like, oh my gosh, that's the person right there without even thinking about it. If they can act, they got the role. And so, it really comes in play there. And so, it's like an example, if you apply to be a lawyer look, but you look homeless,
yeah,
it's not going to work, but
Yeah. Well, that's a beautiful little tidbit of information there for anybody that's, going out for a role or thinking about getting into acting.
Yeah. You can't get your feelings hurt. A lot of people I didn't get on cameras the whole series was out there every day, or I didn't get picked and y'all did. There's really not a whole lot of that. But really, when somebody gets picked, we're all congratulating them. Hey, congratulations on your role. But you can't wear your feelings on your sleeves, and sometimes the director's a little tough. Not as tough as they were in the old days. I'm reading a book about John Ford right now, and he's pretty tough. But the new directors of today, they're not near as tough as he was that I worked with, but they're still kind of tough. Because they're working 16-hour days, and you're working 12, 14-hour days. So sometimes tempers can get a little short out on set if you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, and so just got to grin and bear it and move on.
Makes total sense.
Oh, yeah, and I realized it a lot more when I got on the director's side.
Yeah.
Where is that person I had right there?
So, moving on to my next question, kind of touching base with the family and all that. If you could work with anybody, who would you like to work with?
Robert Duvall.
Oh, yeah? That was a quick answer. You must have been thinking about this for a while.
No, I just really love him. When you said actors, anybody. I had the opportunity to meet him one time several years ago. I love everything he's been in, and just the reason I like Robert Duvall. One of the reasons is his characters can change so much. He can do such a wide variance of different personalities, but it's still down the middle. He's still Robert Duvall.
There you go.
Yeah, so I love everything he's done. And if I could work with him, that would be an amazing. That would be the dream come true right there. So
that's awesome. You heard it here first, folks.
Do what?
I said you heard it here first, folks.
Yeah, there you go.
So this is kind of the part of the show where we're gonna kind of, not poking fun, but we're gonna take this little train wreck through a cornfield.
Okay.
We're gonna ask some oddball questions.
Okay.
And we're gonna see where this goes. So it's actually pretty fitting that you're a man of the earth and you work with the plants. So everybody says that tomatoes are a fruit. So, would you put tomatoes in a fruit salad?
No, I'd put them in a vegetable salad.
All right, that's fair enough. So if you had any superpower, what do you think it would be?
Oh man, that's a good one. Either seeing into the future, so that way you could avoid your mistakes before you make them, or maybe X-ray vision. You know, when you was a kid, you always thought, man, if I could see through walls and things. So one of those would be good. So
there ain't no kid out here that thinks they want X-ray vision to see through walls, good sir.
Or supersonic speed, one of the two.
There you go.
In Texas, it takes so long to drive it. If I had supersonic speed, I could be in Dallas in just a few minutes versus.
Oh, you aren't kidding. That's the only state I've ever driven across that took 4 days.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, go ahead.
So this one's actually pretty fitting, and you might actually already have this, but if you owned a ranch, what would you name it?
That's Quail Whistle. My vineyard is the Quail Whistle Vineyard.
There you go. See, man, I picked these questions at random, and boy, they are tailored to you.
Yeah, we named it after a book. It's going to be published this fall, but it won some pre-production awards called "I Heard the Quail Whistle." So we've kind of started naming everything Quail Whistle after that.
Oh, that's remarkable. See, this is why I ask these questions. We get to know more about you that people might not otherwise hear.
That's right.
So, what genres are your favorite? I mean, obviously you've done a lot of the Western work, but do you have anything else that you tend to like?
That's my favorite one. Is the Westerns, and if I went to another genre, it'd be war, Vietnam, World War II. Those two wars there always have intrigued me. I wrote a play about the Vietnam War.
Oh, wow.
But World War II, if I was in another movie, that'd be a neat one to be in. You know, the uniforms they had, the decisions they had to make, the Greatest Generation. So those two, if it wasn't for Westerns, it'd be a war genre.
Okay, there we go. That's a good one. What would you say is the best or greatest talent that you possess?
That's a good one. It's not singing, that's for sure. Well, I think I'm just real easygoing. That's probably because one of my main actors, he said, man, you're an actor's director. And I really, at the time, didn't know what he was talking about, but I've kind of come to realize what that means. And then also, being in school business, I was an administrator for 27 years, I believe.
Wow.
And so, you had to be the same every day.
Right.
And you had to be fair every day, and you had to, you couldn't be mad one day and happy the next. I strive to always be the same. And so, which kind of comes natural to me. I'm not a fake person or anything like that. So, I think just easygoing. And, there is a line, when you push me so far, and that line finally gets crossed, then it's going to stop. But I've got some ways around that before I have to make a tough decision. Not tough. I don't want to be a jerk or anything like that. So, there's ways around doing that. And so just being easygoing, I think, would be my greatest talent.
Okay. That's a good answer. We kind of talked about this just a little bit before we started the show, but how do you like to unwind at the end of a long day?
Kind of like what I'm doing right now, sitting on the porch swing, petting my dogs, looking out over the vineyard. I want to cook outside. Our tiny house really doesn't have a kitchen, so me and my wife spend the afternoon together and roll outside, have knocked back a few cold ones, and that's the end of our nearly every day. We've only been married 36 years.
Oh, so, only 36 years.
Only 36 years, so we're still on our honeymoon. so just especially when it cools off, when you sit outside, enjoy the cool air.
Right.
Just doing that, that's a great way to end the day. Of course, if the grandkids are here, that's great too. But there's nothing like just, put a steak on the grill and have a few cold ones with the bride, sitting here petting the dogs.
Wow, that does sound good, actually. Sounds
Yeah.
sounds pretty fantastic. I think I might do that after this. Well, no, I
Yeah,
got
there you
I got
go.
work in the morning. I can't do that. So got a few. They get a little bit crazier of questions the further on we go here. But
Okay.
what's the worst smelling place you've ever been?
That would be easy to say. Just east of Corsicana, Texas. There
Okay.
used to be I won't name the brand, but there was a chip company, potato chip company, and that had to smell the worst that I've ever smelled. Woo, I don't know what it was, but man, something about making potato chips is pretty ripe. And so,
That's kind of weird to hear because you don't think about that when you're sitting there with your hands all up in the bag. You know.
no, you think, wow, we thought it was something else first time we passed, and we passed it several times, and it was just like, whoa,
So,
sour something or another.
so what do you think would be on a gag reel of your life?
The gag reel, that is a really neat question. I've got lots of stuff. I have messed up more than once, that's for sure. Well, there was a time that a friend of mine, he was in my truck and I was in the boat, and you know how you pull them up out of the water, he pulled the trailer out from under me, and I'm sitting there on land, just my boat.
I think I would have liked to have seen that.
There were several people who thought it was very funny. So, that would probably be one of the top ones.
Okay.
That there's been lots of, and you just laugh and keep going. Like one person said, to screw up so much, I just laugh and keep going. I just ask how much it's going to cost and keep going.
There you go. So I guess that answers my next question on what you'd like, what you would like to spend money on.
Besides fixing what I tear up.
Yeah.
Oh, I love to hunt and fish.
Okay.
My wife and I love to travel. We've been to Mexico and the Caribbean for quite a bit, and we're hoping to next year or two go to Prague. That's kind of our goal right now. But I love to hunt and fish. In the fall, here in just about 3 weeks, I'll load up the horses and go to Colorado elk hunting. And in February, me and a bunch of guys fly down to Mexico and bass fish on Lake Comadero.
Oh wow.
Two highlights, things I like to spend my money on the most right now, playing like that. So
That's
I
amazing.
think you work hard and play hard.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun.
But yeah, I love to hunt and fish. That's some of my biggest weaknesses, and so I love to deer hunt, but elk hunt has gotten in my blood, and that's what I love to do right now in the fall. Nothing like
Nice.
sitting in the Colorado and hearing the elk bugle.
Oh yeah. So if you were in your truck or your car or whatever you happen to drive, and you're heading to wherever, you got a good 6-hour drive, what song would come on the radio that you would not be able to not sing to?
That I could not sing along with.
Yeah.
Uh,
Like that song comes on and you just involuntary start singing away.
oh, one I will sing with.
Yeah, one you will sing with.
Beach Boys.
Any of them?
Whenever the Beach Boys comes on, you got to sing with them.
That's fair. That's
Yeah,
very fair.
it's just, I keep my radio on the 60s, and then when the Beach Boys come on, you just got to have a party.
Yeah, yeah, I hear you. So, my final question to you. What's the weirdest question you've ever been asked?
Let's see. I can tell you one I got in trouble on one time by a newspaper.
All right.
I was an elementary principal, and they asked me, said, when would you, it was getting to be about this time of year, closer to Halloween, said, when would you like the kids to go trick-or-treating? I'm like, on Halloween? Oh, no, it's on this school day, and they just kept bugging me, and I finally said, well, I'd prefer them to go during the Halloween carnival on Saturday night, but, I mean, it's Halloween. They go whenever they want to. Well, it came out that I said they need to go trick-or-treating on Saturday, not on Halloween.
Oh, my gosh.
So being asked when the kids need to trick-or-treat besides Halloween was a pretty tough question. I was just kind of looked at them.
Yeah, this sounds like they kind of turned that one around on you.
They did. That boy, I got some phone calls.
Oh.
I won't repeat what they said, but
Well, that was all the questions I really had for you. So I think we'll kind of draw things to a little bit of a close here. And
okay, well, I've really enjoyed it.
yeah, it's been a pleasure talking to you. You've genuinely been a blast this whole time, and you got a contagious laugh.
Thank you.
Is there anywhere that the listeners could hear some more of your lovely attitude?
You bet. I mean, they go to my Facebook, Bill Foster, or we're doing Showdown on the Brazos right now, and so we've got that Facebook page too, Showdown on the Brazos. On IMDb, I've got my own page, Bill Foster, and then we've also got Showdown on the Brazos IMDb page. And so we do have a trailer out on YouTube. I have to just Google Showdown on the Brazos. I'm not speaking on it yet, but I am there. And it's had over 14,000 views now. I was excited when it had 300.
Whoa, yeah.
Facebook, but between Facebook and YouTube, we're over 14,000 now.
Holy cow.
So when the movie comes out, they'll get to see a lot of me. So hopefully everybody go see it. But it's really, when you get to see it on the screen as our video guy starts editing it, it's amazing to see things come true like what we've been planning. So
wow.
They could really check me out on any one of those 4 or 5 venues there online.
Okay, that sounds amazing. I might actually get over there myself.
Well, good deal. Yeah, check it out. And we're up for 3 awards right now in a film festival out in Tucson. We'll be going out there the 3rd of October for that weekend. Screenplay, trailer, and posters up for all of them are finalists. And so hopefully I can do a trifecta and bring all 3 home, but I'm just happy to be nominated. You just don't know if you're going to make the finals or not. But
right.
I'm glad I made the finals.
Yeah, so, congratulations on that.
Thank you.
But I am Ray, your host, and you can find me on Chronicles of the Lost Realm, War of the Stars, a Star Wars podcast, and right here on Breaking the Fourth Wall. Thank you all for listening, and thank you, Mr. Foster, for joining me.
Thank you.
And we will catch you all on the flip side.